Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
But for the man, if you're gonna lead a family, you have to also be able to lead a business because the family should ideally be employed within that business that you create. That means if your children want to go and do something else, it's an option, but they have employment. One of the worst things we do as parents is send our children out to the wolves, out into a white supremacist system for employment to find their bread and don't have opportunities for them, and then we wonder why we can't maintain our culture.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menin. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, I'm an author, and right now I'm the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to episode 56. The episodes are stacking up. Give thanks for the growth of the channel. By the time this is aired, we should be at 500 subscribers. That means we're halfway toward the minimum monetization threshold in terms of subscribers. We still have to get to 4,000 watch hours. And the goal of this channel is to monetize. We are building a Rastafari production company for content. This is the beginning. It's starting from the Bonsu HQ. So we're very excited. We have big plans. We're very excited. We have big plans that we plan to share with everyone as we go along. But you're going to see it built from the ground up. The book, Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, that's just the first stage. But we have a mission. We want to tell our own story, and we want to tell the stories in a way that resonates with us and how we look at the world. Rastafari own media. You know, we're seeing images thrown at us that, you know, we can't, you know, it's shocking, it's scarring to look at some of the content that's being put out right now. What we're going to do, we're going to complain or we're going to build the alternative. I'm an actionist. That means that we deal with action. So big up all of the Lion Pride. If you're part of that 500 subscribers, you are part of the Lion Pride. Now these are modest numbers, but remember, some of you were here when we were 10 subscribers, when we were 100 subscribers, when we were 200 subscribers. Some of you have been here from that time. So to see it reach where we reach, we give thanks. And we still haven't had no viral moment. We still don't involve in no mix-up, which we don't plan on, because this is a solution side of the internet. So if you want to hear about the solution, forward thinking, the building of heaven on earth, the manifestation of the Rastafari man standard, higher standard, you know, the glorification of true livity of Rastafari right here and His Imperial Majesty teaching. Give us the teaching of His Majesty. We don't want no devil philosophy. That's what we dealing with right here. The lions telling their own story. So saying all of that to say big up. But I know what you're thinking. What is the topic today? If you clicked on this, you already saw. We're continuing the Rastafari man standard. But this time we're talking about Rastafari business. What do we mean by this? We mean that within this modern era, every Rastafari brethren need to be a businessman. What me say? Every Rastafari brethren in this era, we're not talking about where the elders them go through and, you know, they pass the baton. We're talking about this era, and this means even if you're a farmer, you still have to be a businessman, because you still have to market and sell your produce and make sure you're getting top dollar. So it's across the board. And I'm going to read a little excerpt from His Majesty's speech on economic development that he gave in New York City to the Council of Foreign Relations. And everybody who know who the Council of Foreign Relations knows, say, who them man there is, you know. If you don't know, dig deep and you'll see who he was addressing. But these are the principles in the Rastafari. We're establishing a new standard. So you see I'm building an ecosystem in front of your eyes. So anything I come and tell my brethren is things that I'm doing myself. We're not going to come up here and talk about things that are theoretical. Those times are done. So what am I talking about Rastafari business? The thing I want to talk about in particular for this episode is the importance of having a business plan. I'm an entrepreneur. You may know I am founder, CEO of Jamaica Music Conference. We've established a family company, Highly Bansu Unlimited, that all of this content that you see is registered under that company. The Dejazmatch Kwasi brand, all of that is being run through Highly Bansu Unlimited. So I'm a businessman, and what we are saying as a man, if you look at the Rastafari man standard, economic development was one of the main pillars in that standard. Poverty is not a badge of honor, and we want to make that very clear. Our father, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie, was not a poor man. I would argue that His Majesty shows us how a wealthy man can enter the kingdom of Zion, because it says it's easier for a camel to walk through the eyes of a needle than a rich man to enter into Zion. Remember, Yeshua showed us that. So His Majesty showed us now, come and show us, as a wealthy man, the weight, the responsibility. But it can be done. But if you want to have that wealth, there's a commensurate responsibility, and I will weigh any world leader's accomplishments against His Majesty. All of the naysayers in the comments that like to backchat His Majesty, drop your world leader and his accomplishments, and let's size them up against Kadamawi Haile Selassie I and see who is who around here. King of all kings, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah without apology. We love that. But that being said, to the subject, any endeavor that I am involved with right now on earth has to have a business plan. I'm also the convener and a current trustee of the Association of Rastafari Creatives, and we created it and it evolved. It's now a trade association for business, and saying that we are having our annual, if you're watching this episode when it airs tomorrow, go to rastafaricreatives.com and RSVP tomorrow. I'm going to put the flyer up. We have wonderful, one of our founding members, Sister Andrea Jean-Baptiste, is going to be talking about business. And again, we're going to be building, bringing resources through ARC for Rastafari creatives and business people to structure. So you see me coming talking about Rastafari man standard, and of course sistering have to know business as well. But for the man, if you're going to lead a family, you have to also be able to lead a business, because the family should ideally be employed within that business that you create. That means if your children want to go and do something else, it's an option, but they have employment. One of the worst things we do as parents is send our children out to the wolves, out into a white supremacist system for employment to find their bread, and don't have opportunities for them, and then we wonder why we can't maintain our culture. We have to provide opportunities. We see every community do this. This is why we see Hasidic Jews, we see the Chinese maintain strong cultural cohesion, Arab community, all of the different immigrant communities are able to do this because they are employing their youths in their business. The youths don't have to go outside of their community to sustain their own families when they come of age. In our community, oftentimes we are associated with poverty or struggle, And we want to change that paradigm. We were persecuted, so there's no shame in where we're coming from. I want to make that clear. I don't say anything I say for this the elder them. We stand on their shoulders. They are heroes and champions, and their names are written in the book of life. Those who have passed, those who are still with us, are shining lights. So I want to make that clear. However, our chod is not their chod. The Rastafari man of today must be a businessman and have a business plan. That means that you have your executive summary. That means you're doing your SWOT analysis, or some people use different, and SWOT means your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats. You're doing analysis, you're doing projections, you're looking at your expenses, your miscellaneous costs, what's your budget, what are your projections for every year. And this exercise, going through this exercise, and I'm working on several business plans currently within the Rastafari community in a collective way. So I'm telling you about the work that we're doing. But this helps you to refine and a lot of the hustling, because we come from a hustling culture. That means we just do a thing, fly the plane, we build it as it's going, which you have to do some of that too, I'm not saying. But the business plan is key in terms of saving you time, resources, and letting you see feasibility, viability, setting realistic goals, goal setting, expectations. It's critical to build the wealth and to build the nation. The building of Zion going to take money. You see me flashing beautiful pictures of the Kwasi Institute in Liate Wote, and you say, wow, look how the place nice. That costs money to build. Big up Habisha family, the fundraising efforts, the grants, the different things that went into making that a reality. That's a whole team background under the leadership of Bingi Shan, who we're gonna be featuring shortly. We're gonna have the launch of Kwasi episode. We're gonna tell you about Habisha birthday is coming up, 21st birthday is coming up. All of that. We're gonna be here, Lion Voice. We're in the midst. I'm a board member, former board chair, former Jegna of Black to the Roots program, former volunteer. So Habisha, to the bone. However, let's get forward to the business. A businessman must have a business plan. And I'm going to read a speech from His Majesty to the Council of Foreign Relations. This is from 1967. He said, "We in Ethiopia, for our part, are doing our utmost to achieve progress in both these areas. While our 5-year economic development plans have laid stress on primary industries, as well as essential hydroelectric power, irrigation systems, and a network of highways, among other things, the entire nation is now engaged in self-help endeavors which are yielding satisfactory results and contributing to the nation's efforts toward economic advancement and social progress. Within the purview of sound fiscal policies and other national commitments, we are now engaged in employing every available resource in the national task of economic development." So it's that same energy that I'm bringing to the Lion Pride. All of the brethren them. This channel, over 90% male viewership. So for the Lion Pride, we have to become the businessmen of tomorrow. Africa awaits our creators and creation. This is so critical for us as Rastafari to build an economic base, to make sure that we can sustain our culture. We own our media, we own our narrative, we own our own content. We have Rastafari films, Rastafari books, Rastafari theater, Rastafari music companies. Look how much money generated from Rastafari music globally. How much do we control? Do we have a Rastafari owned publishing company, international publishing company? Do we have and big up Rastafari TV. We have a Rastafari internet TV network, Sister Fanai, good sister of I and I. So we do have Rastafari media, and I'm being exposed to a lot of Rastafari brethren and sistren on YouTube. Not so much sistren I haven't found, but brethren. A lot of brethren are building their channels, and over the years I pray I can interview some of them on Lion Talk find out how they got started and, you know, their outlook, and see how we can build that network, because everyone who know I'm about connection and the network. So it's just timing before we bring all of this together. But I'm adding my own piece to the puzzle. We're building the Lion Pride here. Again, give thanks. Touch 500 subscribers by the time this video is live, prayerfully. And again, we're moving toward monetization, having the channel be sustained so that we can, you know, beef up the production or veggie up the production, because the beef thing, veggie up the production and make the thing nice, you know. So we give thanks for everyone who supported, but I don't want to get too much into it, you know. We want to keep this one short and sweet. But again, the takeaway is that the businessman, that the Rastafari standard, economic development, under the economic development, essential qualities of a real Rasta man, we say economic development. A businessman have to have a business plan. That means if you're a farmer, you still have to study business so that you don't get jerked and become a poor farmer. You want to make sure you're doing value-added produce. If you can introduce some processing facility, even no matter how small, you know, a pepper sauce, you do this, that. And big up ARC. We're going to be bringing you some information about ARC is launching a groundbreaking agricultural project through the agricultural department. We'll interview the agricultural chair, get some more information. I have an interview coming with Ras Tafari, who is another ARC trustee who has spearheaded the Vivia Garden initiative in Trelawney, Jamaica. So we're going to talk about that project. You know, I worked on the business plan along with many others. It's a joint collective effort of Rastafari creatives. Big up Rastafari, Aya Gift, King Kamal, so many ones have been coming together. It's truly groundbreaking. Sister Isla, big up yourself. All of the founding members of ARC, all of the people who have been coming to the membership meetings. So again, as an actionist, we're building out the ecosystem. It's not just the Dejazmatch Kwasi ecosystem. I couldn't just prepare it. And as a Rastafari man, collective security have to be part of your livity. So as we build self, we build community. We can't have strong community without strong self. Without the strong families, which are the building block, we can't have strong communities, which is why every Rastafari man must be a businessman. His Imperial Majesty was a businessman. He inherited farms, estates from Ras McConnell. He multiplied those earnings. He imported a printing press, started a printing press business, a media enterprise. Many other industries he invested in as well, so that he could take his own family wealth and invest forward in the country. And there are many examples. The Haile Selassie Prize Trust, for example. He liquidated some farms to create the endowment that would, the trust to award people within the creative industries and other areas. So we have examples of how His Majesty, and again, showing you how the wealthy can inherit the king or help to build and establish the kingdom of the Almighty on earth. This heaven on earth is going to take wealth to build. So when we're talking about the heaven on earth, this is not pie in the sky, wish on a star business we are talking about, and I want to be clear about that. So when you hear us talking, that's why we show Kazi as a proof of concept, so people can see, touch, you can touch and feel what we are talking about. That's a small scale, but to build the residential, commercial infrastructure that we envision as Rastafari, transforming this world forward to its Edenic, in-balance state, which modern technology allows us to do, to live in harmony with the planet instead of harming the planet. To do that, it's going to take wealth. To have the political impact and influence, it's going to take wealth. To clean up the waste that has been left in the environment, the garbage, the refuse, it's going to take wealth. To restore animal life, it's going to take wealth. Preserve and conserve natural habitats, it's going to take wealth. All of the good things that we want to do is going to take wealth. So the Rastafari man must be a businessman. And that businessman must have a business plan, preferably a 5-year plan, as His Majesty say. So Rastafari business is the topic. If you can, go to rastafaricreatives.com. As you see this, if you're watching this on the Sabbath, on Saturday night, or as the Sabbath go down, Saturday night you're watching this, go to rastafaricreatives.com, register RSVP. It's going to be a powerful session on business, and we're going to be bringing you a lot more. We're going to have some of these available on recording as well. We're going to get the ARC YouTube page up and running shortly. We have big plans coming up, but definitely, again, learn about business. Join ARC if you are a Rastafari creative and you're watching this and you have your own business. Join. We're a trade association. We're about networking, providing the resources so we can create that circular economy. So we ask people what they need, what they have to offer, so that people know. We'll be creating a directory so that people can hire Rastafari services. We want to point people. We have the newsletter where you can advertise your business to a Rastafari audience. Again, we're creating the alternative. We're not going to come here and complain. I'm not going to come and bring a mix-up news about reacting to what's happening out there. Yes, whole heap of Babylon are going out there, and it's dirty and it's nasty and it look away and it's shaky like an earthquake. But I'm not going to go there. I'm going to come to talk about the solution. And that solution is that every Rastafari man must be a businessman. And every Rastafari man must have a business plan. It's not Dejazmatch Kwasi. I said that. Haile Selassie, I live that. And this is why it's so important that we tell our own story. Because the time has come for the lions to tell their own story. And this is the lion's voice.
Lion voice. Well, Haile Selassie the first is the Almighty, and he has manifested himself in physical form and was born as Ras Tafari Makonnen. And he was crowned by his side with Empress Menen. So wait, nobody now big up the natural woman them, Mother Earth, mother of all the earth's children. Well, big up all the woman with the natural hair, natural body, natural skin care, natural breast, natural brown are wearing, as I am nothing fake will be there. Well, big up all the woman with the natural hair, natural body, natural skin care, natural breast, natural brown are wearing, as I am nothing fake will be there. Well, big up all the woman with the pretty black skin, and inna the ear you no join the bleaching, and inna the ear you proud of your melanin. Never giving you a fit, try something. The Almighty, I bless you with your shape. Bless you with the smile where you put on your face. Bless you with the wine where you got in your waist. Real African, look how she a move to the base. Take time, slow wine now. Take time and slow wine now. Speed up, hand by your knee cup and speed up now. Della move. Skin smooth so, the Stella move then. Butterfly then. Butterfly blessed by the Most High now. Do the butterfly. Big up all the woman with the natural hair,